Well, the polls don't look good for Nikki Haley, but they haven't looked good for her for quite some time. So that hasn't really been anything that's deterred her, not in Iowa, New Hampshire. She didn't stand in Nevada. So it looks like she's still continuing, and she's vowing to continue through South Carolina into Super Tuesday on March 5th. Now, we've been speaking to some voters here since we arrived. Now, remember, Nikki Haley was the two-time governor of this state, and many of those voting for her said she did a great job as governor, and she oversaw an economic boom in the region, which is why her campaign is dubbing this tour around South Carolina the Beast in the Southeast. However, her detractors say that once she left South Carolina and moved on to the national stage when she became ambassador to the UN, that she effectively abandoned the Republican Party here in South Carolina, and that has been to her detriment. Some people say that Nikki Haley is playing to a Republican Party that simply doesn't exist anymore, that it's been Trumpified, and that her traditional messages, something that you might have seen in the campaigns of George W. Bush or even Ronald Reagan, simply doesn't land anymore. The state's GOP, the Republican establishment, is also against Nikki Haley because she lost contact with them, including one of the main senators here, which is Tim Scott. He's effectively running alongside Donald Trump, although he hasn't been given the nomination, but Donald Trump has hinted at it numerous times. The governor of the state, the person who succeeded Nikki Haley, is also is not endorsing her either. But she says it's not about the primary. It's all about the election on November 5th. She says that she beats Joe Biden in a general election and Donald Trump doesn't. And that is the message she's trying to give home to the Republicans voting here on Saturday.
And if we look beyond this vote, Fraser, we're not far from Super Tuesday now. What happens next?
Well, Super Tuesday is right around the corner, and Nikki Haley, as I said, is saying that she is going to be there during Super Tuesday. That is when a massive tranche of states will have their say. So far, only a couple have done so. So Nikki Haley vowing to continue at least until then, regardless of what happens here in South Carolina. I think it's fair to say that Nikki Haley is hoping that she has something a bit like what happened to her in New Hampshire. She was polling around 30 points behind Donald Trump then, but on actual game day, that margin between them was much narrower and gave her a bit more momentum. She's hoping to be carrying that through to Super Tuesday. Now, she also has deep pockets, $16.5 million she earned in January, so she does have some legs for this campaign. Whether it will go the distance remains to be seen.